Okay. Welcome to the last week of this of the winter quarter. And today I already uploaded the lecture materials and the videos on your LMS. It says they're lecture 8, but today is actually week 9. And next week will be our final exams. I have not uploaded a quiz that I told you because I wanted to include the items of the quiz in the final exams. Okay? Hmm. So tonight, I know the weather is not really cooperating with us. So let's try to make this class quick so you can go home early. Okay. So let's review. From the first few weeks of this class, we talked about the motivations and the factors that affects consumer behavior, right? And so let's begin with the customers believing and deciding that the product is a need. That's number one. That's the number one and the strongest motivation why people prefer to buy this product over that product. Um, Number two, we also talked about culture and how culture influences your decisions and your preferences when it comes to buying products or choosing products. Number three, we also talked about factors of social media influence, the people that you look up to or the people that you could relate to um, in the social media platforms, and even in watching TV and magazines. Okay, so the celebrities that you could relate to, the celebrities that you look up to, you prefer the products that they endorsed. Okay, um, what else? What are the other factors? If you can recall from the past lectures, other factors would also include what? Age and the generation where they belong, okay? Because with the generation that they belong, that means they were raised and brought up in certain practices that somehow influence their buying preferences, okay? So most people nowadays, the millennials, they buy whatever they want to buy because they can afford. And there are many job opportunities available compared to the baby boomers who were born and who grew up at the time of economic development, right after the Depression, right after the war, wherein they believe that jobs are difficult to find, money is difficult to find, and that's why they have a practice and they have a belief that they needed to save, and that they also have these preferences of buying something that they can get the most value from, okay? That they do not want to buy products that the value depreciates or the products that will no longer be useful to them in the next 5 years or the next 6 years. They want to buy products that are useful to them for a long time so that they can get its utmost value. They also prefer products that appreciates in value. Okay, so if you notice, your grandparents or your parents, they always prefer to buy a house or a land property over expensive bags, over expensive jewelry, because they know that the value of these products they appreciate through time. Okay? That means they can resell these products. But younger generations, they do not care about buying a house. They do not foresee themselves buying a house. They believe that buying a house is just going to tie them to a life of work, right? One of the research papers conducted is that many millennials believe that if they buy a house, you will be tied up to a life, a long-term life of working, just working, because you need to pay the mortgage of the house. Okay. Um, so now we come to the conclusion that um, trends in consumer behavior also are also affected by ethical considerations. Okay, and this is the reason why many companies have CSR or corporate social responsibilities because of the culture of wokeness. Okay, you know the meaning of woke, right? The culture, the wokeness culture, it's a culture where people wanted to be more concerned of others. And because of that, many companies are affected because the the millennials are embracing the culture of wokeness. And this is and the culture of wokeness also appeals to the culture of ethical practices, ethical considerations, making your product be more inclusive rather than exclusive or discriminating, making your product be more responsible, making your business be more responsible by creating CSRs or policies that your business would prioritize local employment, community development, that your businesses would prioritize giving more benefits to the people who work in the company, those kind of things. And if you notice, um, when Nike was discovered that they were um, producing their shoes in Asia, and most of the people that work for them are underaged children or minors, then a lot of people realize that, oh my God, we should boycott Nike, we should stop buying Nike so that Nike would stop doing this. So even the preference of buying products, ethical considerations are also now a factor of preference, okay? So again, you know the meaning of consumer behavior, that is understanding how customers or how individuals buy their products, why individuals prefer these products over the other. Understanding the trends, of course, it's crucial for business to stay competitive and relevant. Because if you're a business, you need to understand what's the trend. What are the current needs of your customers? Customers, they change, they may only have one need, but their preferences, their desires, their wants will change from time to time. And many customers, socially speaking, many customers are having a difficulty differentiating what is a need from what is a want. Okay? Many of us believe that we need cell phones. Do we really need cell phones? Yes? Our ancestors did not have cell phones, they survived. People in the 1940s, the 1950s, people in the 1960s, they did not have cell phones. They survived, they were able to communicate. Companies thrived and worked without cell phones. So now you're wondering, why do people believe that cell phones are a necessity? So see, socially speaking, a big group of consumers are having a difficulty differentiating what is a need from what is a want. And then lastly, the role of ethics. Um, Role of ethics is increasingly important in modern consumerism because again, um, apart from people are getting more aware of what's happening, people are also getting more concerned of what's happening, plus the culture of wokeness that is highly embraced by a major group of consumers, which are the millennials. Now, what are the key trends of consumers in 2025? Now, we have heightened expectations. I believe all of you have this kind. Heightened expectations. That means many consumers from this age group, okay, feel that they are privileged and they feel that that their expectations must be met by the products or the services that they avail. If you're going to ask or interview your grandparents or parents and ask them what do they expect when they go to a restaurant, what will be their normal answer? Hmm? They just go in there, they order food, they eat, they pay, and they leave. Correct? But if I am going to ask you, if you walked in a restaurant, what do you expect? Hmm? You expect that you just don't eat the food. You expect that the food must also be delicious, right? You expect that the service must be fast, correct? You expect that the restaurant must be clean, correct? There are more expectations. And that's why businesses have to level up. They have to change their game plans. Unlike before, businesses are just happy. Okay, you want a chair? I'll give you a chair. But nowadays, customers, one of the trends, they have heightened expectations. They just do not want a chair. They want a chair with a design. They want a chair that's comfortable for their backs. They want a chair that is comfortable when they sit. They want a chair that is flexible, that I can lean back, I can move forward. They want a chair that is easy to carry. They have so many expectations. And that's why you've got a variety of chair products. And chairs have to keep on evolving. The same thing with your cell phones. Before, people are just happy to be able to text a friend or call a friend with their cell phones. But now, consumers have a heightened expectations that the new cell phones should not only be used for texting and calling. It should have Siri or what's that? Um, I know in iPhone it's called Siri. In Samsung, what do you call her? You don't you don't have like an AI assisted in operations in Samsung? Alexa? Hmm? Alexa is Samsung, right? Amazon. So in Samsung, what do you call her? In iPhone, you call her Siri. See? You just do not want to use phones that can be used for texting or calling anymore. And you expect your phones to have a higher memory storage. Why? How many contacts do you need to save? Why do you need a gigabyte memory for your phones? Oh, it's not the contacts. I want to save more pictures. Why do you need to save more pictures? Because I want to take a lot of pictures. And now you're no longer happy with 1,000 pixels or whatever. You want a picture that is really clear, and you want a cell phone with a camera that can zoom 1,000 times. You want a cell phone to do everything for you. So the heightened expectations of every product. Okay? Before, people are just happy to buy the vacuum. Now, people want the vacuum to move on its own so that they don't need to keep on pushing the vacuum. And that's why you have this iRobot. You know the iRobot vacuum? It's making a lot of sales. Okay. Another trend for 2025 is a decline in brand loyalty. You notice? People are no longer brand conscious. People before, they would say, oh, I mean, our mothers, they would usually say, oh, when I buy appliances for the kitchen, I always use GE. You know what GE is? General Electric, very good. You don't know what GE? You don't use GE anymore in your kitchen? Oh my God. Your kitchen are very advanced. Yeah, before they only buy GE. Why? Because they believe that GE products last long. GE products are easy to fix when they get broken. The parts of a GE oven or a GE refrigerator can easily be ordered and it can easily be found, so it's faster to fix when they are broken. Okay? But now, people don't care about the brands. What they care is that the product gives them their highest expectations. So a lot of new brands are coming up. Like a refrigerator that has a TV screen. Have you seen that refrigerator with a touchscreen monitor? It will show you a calendar. It will show you how many calories you ate for the day. It has an inventory guide. Like, what did you buy on this date? So therefore, if you bought them on Monday, by Wednesday, they should all be out of the fridge and they should be cooked or thrown away. Sorry. So they have that one. And then some refrigerators, they make like these cute ice balls. Heightened expectations. So that's why heightened expectations led to the decline in brand loyalty. And lastly, of course, they focus now on the basic needs and the value. Sorry. So, going back, people don't care about the price anymore as long as they feel that the value that they pay is lesser than the value or the benefit that they will get from the product. Okay? So, a lot of people would be wondering, oh my God, it's the same stove. What do you buy the stove for? You buy the stove to cook, correct? So why would I buy a stove that is $5,000 when there is a stove that is only for $2,000? Hmm? What are the common answers of people who buy a more expensive stove? It's no longer about the quality, that it will last long, that it will not easily break. But what is it now? It is more of the value and the function of that stove. Okay? Some of you will say, oh, it has an induction, like um, it has an induction feature. That means even if the stove is hot, you cannot get burnt by touching it, but it can cook your food really hot. So it's safety, especially now that I have little children. And some of these little kids will run around and might touch the stove. At least they don't get burnt when they touch the stove and the stove is on. Number two, oh, that stove, it has an automatic power off. So very good for me when I forget to turn off the stove. If the stove is on for 2 hours, it will automatically turn off. So it has a safety feature. The same thing with why people buy Tesla, right? If we're going to talk about brand loyalty, people should be loyal to Toyota, Mitsubishi, Nissan, Ford, Mercedes, because these are the original makers of cars. And you would know that if they've been making cars for a very, very long time, you can tell that their cars now are really, really good because of their long experience in making cars, right? Would you go to a doctor who just graduated versus a doctor who has been practicing for 40 or 30 years? So if I get a surgery, I would choose a doctor who had practiced for 30 to 40 years versus a doctor who just graduated, because I know that that doctor is really, really good. He has practice. The same thing with choosing cars. You would go for brands that have been making cars for a very long time. But what made Tesla so popular over these original car makers? And in fact, they are twice more expensive than Toyota and Nissan and Mitsubishi. Sometimes 3 times more expensive. Because Tesla was able to introduce the value, like the autopilot, in which a lot of people are really wanting. Is it a need? No, it's not a need. But people now are confused with what is a need and what is a want. Some people think, oh, when I drive, I feel sleepy. Back in the day, if you are born in the 50s or 60s and you would say, when I drive, I feel sleepy, people will tell you, do not drive. Take a taxi. Take the train. But now, oh, I need to buy Tesla. Why need? Why the word need? Oh, because when I drive, I feel sleepy. And only Tesla has a self-drive. Oh, I need to buy Tesla. Why? Because I can drive, but I'm not very good in parking. And Tesla has an auto park feature. It parks itself. Again, back in the past, if you don't know how to park, you will not pass the driving test. So you notice now, these products are injecting values that are not a need, but people nowadays think that they are a need. Okay? So these are the trends, the 3 trends in 2025. Now, the current trend is about ethical consumerism, which is a very, very big factor for many, many consumers. That's what I've said. People now, they want to buy products, they want to choose products, they want to help businesses that are doing good for others. Because they feel that their money somehow, okay, they feel that their money somehow goes to help other people. If you notice, you would go to Ross and they would ask you, would you like to donate your change for the Boys and Girls Club? And if you say yes, Your change is 5 cents. And if you donate your 5 cents change, they will ring the bell. Ding, 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 ding. Congratulations, somebody donated. Oh my God. And you only donated 5 cents. Why do they do that? Because that is a marketing strategy for people to keep on coming back to them. Because people will say, I would like to buy there because even if I buy products from that store, I don't feel guilty of shopping. Why? Because a little of my money goes to help the Boys and Girls Club. But who are these Boys and Girls Club? You don't even know. Are they really poor? Do they really need help? Blah, blah. So ethical consumerism makes you want to buy from products that are projecting, or from companies that are projecting themselves to help others. Okay? So there is like awareness. Like, why are, what do you call this? Eco-friendly products became very popular. Like you have this wooden spoon, wooden fork, bamboo, what do you call that? Bamboo straw. Because they said, oh, if you use a plastic spoon and a plastic fork, it will take ages before they decompose. And it takes a lot of process before they decompose. But with a with a wooden spoon, with a bamboo straw, you can just throw it in your backyard and they will decompose, they will not harm the earth. So you have the feeling, okay, I will buy that one. It's a need to buy that one. Because even if I keep on using those paper plates, wooden spoon, wooden fork, bamboo straws, I am also helping the environment. Are you really helping the environment? If you want to help the environment, use your regular spoon, wash them every. Okay? Now, another force of ethical consumerism is called sustainability. Okay? Have you heard of the term sustainable fashion? I really thought at first that sustainable fashion is something that is useful to the community. And this term, sustainable fashion, was endorsed by a lot of celebrities. So you have Emma Watson pushing for sustainable fashion. You have Anne Hathaway pushing for sustainable fashion. A lot of celebrities are pushing for sustainable fashion, only to realize that what they meant by sustainable fashion is that when they buy clothes, they use it again. And just so that the clothes will not look the same, because you know how they attend events and parties, right? And they do not want to go to the party wearing the same dress. Okay. So Emma Watson came up with the idea that she is pushing and promoting sustainable fashion. And in her sustainable fashion, what she did is that whatever clothes she wore before, she will wear it again. But this time she will have to twitch and change the design a bit. Maybe match the skirt with another top, or match the top with another skirt, or put some decorations on the top, or maybe cut the sleeves, just like to recycle what clothes she wears. I would like to react on that. And I would like to say sustainable fashion has been practiced by the poor people and the middle class for a very long time. We keep on repeating what we wear. Okay? So But again, people love her because of the idea of sustainability. And they said, oh, that's a responsible and not just responsible, but it's also an ethical way of buying and consuming because she doesn't waste the clothes. She recycles them. Recycling clothes is our practice in the middle class and the poor people. We repeat what we wear every week. Okay? Now, but again, companies that promote sustainability, these companies are making or attracting a lot of buyers. Okay? Because again, they said with their practices, they were able to help the community and the environment. Like for example, you have bamboo clothing, eco-friendly products, and all of these things. Now, the power of the consumer choice, this is what, as a businessman, you should understand. Because this is what will affect your businesses. Number one, boycotting. And this is what happened to Nike again. Was it 12 years ago? 12 years ago. When they were found out that they were getting children from Sri Lanka to make their shoes, they were boycotted. And Nike lost almost $125 million in that year. Almost $125 million of losses. Because people boycotted Nike because of their irresponsible production and irresponsible business practices. So be careful with the boycotting. And that's what people do not want, and that's what businessmen do not want to happen. That's why businessmen now, because of the impact and the influence of ethical consumerism, a lot of the businesses are trying to be relevant and they're trying to be significant to the woke culture. Okay? Number two, switching brands. Again, there's no longer brand loyalty in the present market. In the present group of consumers, brand loyalty has declined. And the reason for this is because people are now looking for more value in the product. Okay? So people don't say, yes, I am an iPhone user, but no, I am not an iPhone fan. Neither I am an iPhone loyalist. People would say that. If Samsung would come up with a good cell phone with all these features that I like, I would switch to Samsung. The same thing with cars. People are no longer loyal to Toyota, that's what I've told you. That's why these old car makers are now making hybrid cars, also electric cars, like Hyundai is making electric cars right now because they want to adapt to what the customers think that they need. And lastly, voting with wallet. So, consumer supports ethical brands through purchases, of course. Like we want to buy, again, this also talks about the guilt, the personal guilt. That even if we buy expensive products, if we know that a little portion of our money goes to help other people, then we buy it. Right? So for example, I will show you a video. Anyone from Brazil? No one from Brazil? Okay. Have you heard of the company? It's a very luxurious furniture brand, and they only have a store in Los Angeles and Miami. for the reason that only people in Los Angeles and Miami can afford their furnitures. Okay? This brand is called Tideli. I'll show you. Okay. So you notice Tideli is really high luxury brand for furnitures, and they cater mostly in LA and Miami for outdoor living for furnitures. Because, of course, in California and Florida, the weather is hotter, so people have outdoor patios, people have balconies, people have outdoor living. But then, how do they make Tideli presentable to a lot of rich people? Uh, Let me see. I think I can. I think this one. Let me see with this one.
Missed our Black Friday sale? No worries. Tideli Outdoor Furniture is keeping the party going with up to 60% off in our showroom. Get your outdoor space
Oh no, not
finally
that one.
ready for
Sorry,
our
sorry.
stunning
Not that one.
collections. Visit us today and celebrate.
I would rather go to the Tideli Instagram, and you will see that the ropes and the furnitures that they make are actually woven by a community of women who were saved from prostitution, women who were saved from violence against against domestic violence. These are the owners of Tideli. Where is that one? I have been consulting with Tideli for 2 years, so I know the backstory, and I said like this will be the backstory that you should be selling to your customers, not the story that they will be able to experience a luxurious lifestyle. Because with any furniture, they can always experience a luxurious lifestyle. But if you tell them that their living of luxury is also helping people who are abused by their husbands or by their partners, people who were human trafficked into prostitution, and you save them and you gave them a livelihood, then it would make Fideli a very um, a very strong product to appeal to the emotions of the buyers, not just for the relatability of Tideli as a luxury brand, but the appeal of emotions that you are actually helping people when you buy Tideli products. I'm not sure if this is the one. Let me find. I know they put it on their website too, but I also saw they have a specific this one, Design with a Purpose. They call it the Tideli Institute. Sorry, the Tideli Institute. That's their, see?
Fidel was able to create an integrated relationship with local communities around the world, paving the way to create jobs, generate income, with the goal to restore the dignity of these entire communities. We understand that by providing training, support, and growth opportunities, employees can pave a new future for themselves through their involvement, hard work, and dedication. Join us in supporting a movement where design meets impact. Follow Tidel and be part of this transformative journey.
Yeah.
Do you know?
So that's it. They call it the Tideli Institute now because they are now opening Tideli as also a training center for women who wants to develop skills in weaving ropes and making furnitures. So, which is actually, and that was their strongest marketing scheme. So, if you're going to go to your LMS, I added two commercials that I find very interesting because these commercials are not just made to sell the product, but they are made to appeal to the emotions of the buyers so that the buyers can feel that when they buy these products, they are ethically consuming. Okay? So, first I will introduce to you this commercial. This is a commercial in the Philippines for a very long time. Bench is a product in the Philippines which is very, very popular to young people because their market are young people. They make clothing, they make underwear, they make cologne, they make um, wristwatches, all the fashion products that young people love to wear. Now, the good thing with Bench is because it's locally produced in the Philippines, so the middle class and the lower class, younger generation, they prefer to buy Bench because of the affordability. And at the same time, it also gives them the value of fashion that the other international brands are giving. Now, LGBTIQ is quite um, not supported by the Philippine communities for a very long time, considering that the Philippines is a highly Christian country. More than 90% of the population are Catholics, and the other percentage are Muslims, which are more strict and totally more against um, the LGBTIQ community. Okay? So now, Bench wants to show that their products are not exclusive for straight people. And they want to show ethical consumerism by saying, our company, our brand does not discriminate. We support people. So this is the commercial that created 49 million views in the Philippines. Sorry. Sorry, sorry.
Amoy pa lang yan. Ha? Ano daw yun? Bakla, ano sinabi mo? Oh, bless po. Amoy chicks ang anak ko ah. Dami lang po nagpapapansin sa school pa.
Okay lang yan.
Ang bango mo ah.
Mas mabango ka.
Fishy.
Bless po. Ano? Girlfriend mo na?
Ikaw talaga pa.
Bless po. Amoy panalo na naman.
Hey, Vince.
Oh my God, what's happening with this one? Hang on, hang on. Should I continue to play?
Oo na. Oh, ano, wala na? Kailan ka ba magkikwento?
Next time na lang po, pa.
Yes. Okay. So that was a, what do you call that one? A shocking. A lot of Filipino buyers felt that it was unique but shocking to the Filipino culture because oh my, and they said like who would buy bench? But it that commercial actually brought soaring sales for that cologne because people think that oh it's nice, it can be used for both male and female. So and they said that it's and no discrimination there. Nothing happened. So that's why they chose it. Now here's another one. This is also from Thailand. And the reason why I'm showing Asian um, advertisements is because the Asian advertisements are now touching the ethical consumerism side and and the empathy of the buyers. Okay? I hope this thing will stop going out. What is this one? Shh.
ว่าสิ่งที่เขาได้คือได้แค่ความรู้สึกได้เห็นความสุขได้เข้าใจได้ความรักได้ในสิ่งที่เงินซื้อไม่ได้ได้โลกที่สวยงามกว่าเดิมในชีวิตคุณอะไรคือสิ่งที่คุณต้องการมากที่สุด
ไทยประกันชีวิตเชื่อในความดี
Okay. Did you like it? So it was just all about a life insurance. But the way they presented it, okay, it's about that life insurance is something that your money cannot buy. But it's something that you can give, and it's something that you can show your love to the people who will be left behind with your life insurance if you have one. So yeah. Um, Going back, so now, as what I've said, like ethical consumerism is now one of the biggest factors that affect people to buy and why they want to buy. Okay, because now people do not just appeal to the product, I mean to the customers by showing that this product or this product has more value because it can offer you a lot of things that you might need. But they also showing that this product is something that when you buy, you are sharing empathy. You are sharing emotions. You are sharing a good deed. And that's why CSRs are very, they're now becoming a very big factor in many, many major corporations and companies. Okay. That's the reason why Western Covenant University will never increase your tuition. That's their CSR. To provide education without increasing tuition. That's why we're still the cheapest university in LA. Okay? So now that's I'm going to end our lecture there. I will not prolong the lecture because apart from being able to deliver what is the main point of discussion for this course, for this topic, I also want you to go home early because the rain hasn't stopped yet, right? Okay. So I don't want you guys to get caught with the late buses and delayed trains. So next week, I will not meet you next week. So this is our last meeting for this quarter. And then I will see you again next quarter if I am teaching next quarter. I am not sure if I will be teaching next quarter for the bachelor's program, but definitely for the master's program, I am teaching. Anyone in the applied statistics class in the MBA who took the applied statistics? Okay, I have not posted anything yet after the midterms, but I will start posting next week. So you will have your finals the week after next. I will only post 3 lectures with the applied statistics, and then you will have your finals week after next. And the reason why I am not posting a lot of statistics class because you also have probability and statistics, right? And I don't want you to get confused with all those. Applied business statistics is more advanced, so you will have a more complicated problem-solving final exam. But again, I will lay down all the process and the methods in a 3-lecture series that I will video record. As for the people in the consumer behavior class, only for this class, I did not give you your quiz last weekend because I will incorporate that one in the final exam next week. Okay? So that's it. Let me just turn this off so that I can check your attendance.